Hey, I got to tell you. So let me see here. I loved it this morning here when Zander started doing big sells to him. Did you get better anywhere? No. John McMullen, man. No, they didn't get better anywhere. Like, okay. All right. They didn't get better anywhere. By the way, open competition. I don't think there's a bad thing about it. But when you got 7 job openings on defense and you got 2 on offense, I don't know. All right. Top 10 defenses. Did I hear Zander Krause go 3? Got the Eagles at the 3rd best defense in National Football League. Holy cow. By the way, it's May 9th. Where's Nicky Chiriani's deal? Without further ado, here on this Friday, coming aboard to talk to the Pope of Sports Talk. Big Sales, we bring in Big Z to the show.
What's up, Big Sales?
Yeah. Yes, sir, dog.
What bullshit are you talking today?
Hey, man, bullshit. I'm just looking.
You sound like McMullen.
No, what? I'm just going over your job openings.
Oh, boy.
I just going over your job opening. What's that?
You think we got a lot of job openings?
Well, yeah.
Well,
I
like
think
4?
you got 7 on defense at least.
4 out of 22?
I think you got 7 on defense for sure.
No, you're not going to go down the John McMullen road of telling me the loss of Isaiah Rodgers will be catastrophic for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Again, it's a group. Like you said before, it's the group thing here. Wait, no, here. As a matter of fact, I don't give a shit who fills the role. I'm talking about job openings. You can, all of your famous guys who have now come in from Trash Can U, and they could be part of the roster, sure. They're going to be the next Brian Dawkins. I don't care. I'm talking about job competition and job openings. That's it. Whoever wins them, more power to you, kid. But for a world championship team, you've got 7 job openings on defense that they're going to determine on who's going to be in a respected role on that defensive side. And I shall go over them with you right now, my friend.
Are you going to tell me that Isaiah Rodgers isn't a dude?
I didn't say that.
He's
I'll
a
tell
dude.
you what, he's a dude so much now. He got $8 million a year where he's going to start in Minnesota.
Oh, he's a dude. He played how many snaps last year for the Eagles?
Really? Well, who do you have replacing him?
Adoree Jackson.
So the guy who just got cut from the Giants is the guy replacing him.
I've never seen Isaiah Rodgers get a contract half the size of the one Adoree Jackson got.
You traded for Isaiah. Okay, here.
Did we?
Yes.
No, I thought we stashed him when he got suspended.
I thought they traded for him.
Was that a trade and then stash?
Yeah.
I forget. I thought they signed him.
Let's take a look at the job openings on your defense. So the left defensive end, you're not sitting here telling me on May 9th that Moro Jones won that job already.
Yeah, he has. Moro?
Yesterday you were trying to, John McMullen and you were telling me they're going to take him off the field and put Jihad Campbell over there. I mean, wait a minute here.
Jihad, yeah.
So, would we not agree that he's got to at least beat Ty Robinson out for that gig?
We added a Swiss Army knife. That's an unbelievable football player. That's going to change a little bit of the role for the guys in the front four.
That will play in 9 months. All right. Wake me up when he's ready.
Says who?
Your GM.
Yeah, I remember you saying the same thing about Cooper Shiesty last summer when he got hurt in training camp.
No. But your GM, I'm going by your GM's words. I'm not mine. These are not mine. I'm not making this up. There's a future.
Nowhere did Howie say he's 9 months out. No, those are not my GM's words.
Howie said that he might not.
He's not my GM. He's the Eagles GM.
He said that he might not be ready for training camp. Those were his words. So here, let's go to another one.
I know you went to Miami and all, but that's not 9 months away. Training camp. It's about
deflecting. folks, you see that? 9 deflecting. It's all good.
I'm dumber than you. I went to Alabama. I can't talk.
Don't kid yourself, kid. It may have been 16% getting in, but I didn't get in because of
Bob Brown. You know Bob Brown, our boy Bob Brown. What's up, T-Bone? My brother in Christ. I love T-Bone. So Bob Brown did put together this big thing of, that Big Sills is actually wrong, and that in 1984, whatever it was that you went to the University of Miami, that the acceptance percentage was slightly higher than you say than it is now. I said, "Oh my gosh, Bob."
Hey, Bob, do you actually think that when I was looking at schools that was something that was high on my list?
Yeah, no, it was not.
Hey, what's the acceptance rate getting into Miami versus Ohio State? I'm done. Hey, Bob, I don't think I was looking at that. Hey, by the way, you have great academics. I don't remember that conversation coming up with Big Sills when I was at Notre Dame.
Nah, but you could play football. You could play football. That's for damn sure.
Here we go here. Let me ask you this one here. Job opening number 2. So this right inside linebacker, I know that John said this morning they're not bringing him back next year. So Jacoby, it looks like he may not be ready for training camp. I know OTAs and mini, he's not going to be there. He probably will be ready for training camp, I'm hoping. So you've got a competition there because you just got to be prepared if he's not ready. Don't you?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, and then who's the Oren Burke role? The battle is between Mondon and Trotter?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me see here. That's now 1, 2, 3 job openings.
Backups. You're trying to get me concerned about a bunch of backups.
No, I'm talking about your openings for jobs. Strong side linebacker, Bryce Hoffa, Aziz Ojalabra, Joshua Uche, Jalix Hunt. You believe there's a competition there at strong side linebacker? Are you going to put, or unless you're sold on Huff?
You'll be eating crow on Jalix Hunt this year.
Who?
You'll be eating crow on Jalix Hunt.
I've been saying I think the kid's going to be. There's something there to the kid.
I agree. Might not happen as quick as we're hoping, but I do think he's going to be ready to rock.
He came on pretty fast last year, dude.
At the end of the year, he really did. He really started to find his rhythm, find his footing, figure out the way offensive tackles in the NFL were playing. I mean, I thought he really looked pretty good. Yep. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so listen, I'm not as doom and gloom. You're not about to walk through the same 7 guys that we've walked through.
Gloom and doom. I'm talking about if I was looking for a job and I was like putting my resume out there, the Eagles got a lot of job openings. That's number 4 on defense. Let's go over here now. Let's see. Safety, Makuba and Tristan McCullum. Those guys are going to battle it out and see who starts, correct?
It's going to be Sidney Brown. Yeah, you're the only guy in the world who thinks it's going to be.
Okay, Sidney Brown, Makuba, and Tristan McCullum.
Yes, Makuba. Makuba's going to be all right, but it might take him a little bit, right? It might take him a little bit. I do think I was watching some of his tape recently, last night and the night before. He does play the game really, really well.
Great IQ.
Yeah, great IQ. He's all over the ball. He's great in coverage. So I do think he's going to be a good player. My question on him is how long does it take?
Yeah, because not everybody's going to be the same. Like Cooper and Q were off the charts great. So that's 5 job openings. Let's see here now. Oh, hey, how about this? I got a depth chart this morning and Adoree Jackson starting over Keely Ringo. How you doing?
I think that's a good thing.
Me too.
I'm not upset about that. That's true. I think they're going to give Keely the chance to win that job. They don't believe me. They don't want Adoree Jackson to win. If he has to play, they're going to play him, but they don't want that. They want the young guy that they drafted, spent a 4th-round pick on to get there and win the job and earn it. And it's probably, in a way, it's probably a mental game as well that you're preparing Keely for. He walks in the room and he sees he's not the starter yet. You got to go and earn it. You got to go and play good, prepare, work in the summer, do the things you got to do to be ready to play on the football field come August and September. And I think Keely will, but I admittedly have a little bit more question marks on that player than most.
Okay, so we got 1 left end and backer, 2 safety, 3 4
a backup here and a backup
corner 5 and we got
everywhere.
You got the Oren. I'll tell you what, if you don't think that Oren, not you, if somebody doesn't think that Oren Burks role was a significant factor in the Eagles winning the Super Bowl in the postseason, people would be high. He had 46 tackles in the postseason.
It was. He came in. He played very well. Remember, Nakobe Dean
I was shocked. I moved on the kid.
Yeah, in the first playoff game, and you know, a lot of people questioned what that was going to look like in the defense opening up. I did. I was like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Because remember what happened the year before. Oren Burks wasn't on the Philadelphia Eagles. He was on the San Francisco 49ers.
Correct.
And he came into the game in the second half of the Super Bowl when Dre Greenlaw tore his Achilles running onto the field. And that second half, Andy Reid and Mahomes just kind of went, oh, we're taking you to the woodshed. And they did that entire second half. So I was kind of expecting him to get beat again. But credit to Oren Burks. He really played well late in the year last year.
Earned himself an opportunity to start in Cincy. That's for dang sure with Al Golden there. So we got 7 opportunities for people to win jobs on defense. Okay. Now, again, I'm not talking about the talent. I'm not talking about anybody who you like, who you think should win, but the organization has to make a decision on 7 different roles on defense, starting and backup. On offense, there's 2, the swing tackle and also the guard. So there's 9 job opportunities with the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason and in the training camp. How do you take that? There's 9 job openings.
If you're who?
If you're anybody. I mean, 9 job openings that you have where you'll have some type of competition. Now, again, Zander, some competition's going to be intense. Some competition's not going to be intense, but they're going to not want to just hand rolls to people on people that were exited off the team, right? I mean,
wait. This is one of the great Nick Sirianni's
oh, Jesus, Nick Sirianni.
core values. Is competition.
Oh my God.
It's competition.
Yeah. Okay.
And the team is going to have to come in and they're going to work. No, in all seriousness,
every time he mentions Nick Sirianni, he loses me.
Let me get something out though, because I do think that this parallel can be drawn to some extent. The reason that the best college programs become so much better and the gap widens as the year goes on, typically with the top and the bottom, is because when you're at Georgia, when you're at Alabama, when you're at Oklahoma or Ohio State or Penn State, the backups that you're playing against in practice are better than, 30, 40% of the Power 5 schools. Okay. So the Eagles have created this roster that is so deep with talent. There's good things and there's bad things to that. But I do think the competition element has worked so well in recent years because they've allowed athletes to go and win and earn the job. And with that, I think some of these guys are going to, like Keely Ringo, we just talked about it. Good. I'm happy he's second on the depth chart. I'm happy. Go and earn the job, young man. The better you play, the more you'll get.
But these guys aren't established roster people you're having competition with. These aren't guys who have been there for 2, 3, 4 years where you're battling for competition. You just signed these guys.
Well, no.
Really?
If you're Keely Ringo, hear me out.
Or drafted them.
If you're Keely Ringo and you're trying to win the first team defense snaps, right? And you come into practice, who are you lined up against? You're not lined up against Makuba and other corners. You're lined up on AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
How long has he been here?
Keely, this will be his 3rd year.
I mean, we got to find out sooner or later about this guy.
I agree with you, but Keely Ringo was, remember, he was really young when they drafted him.
Why didn't Vic go to him when they wanted to go to another corner last year and they went to Isaiah? He wasn't injured.
No, he wasn't injured. It's a fair question by you. John says that he thinks that Isaiah was better suited for that role, and I don't really know what that means. He's 22 right now. He's going to be 23 in June.
Because it's a zone role. You don't have to be a tackler in zone
this year.
You don't have to be a tackler in zone. You have to be. Nobody would ever go like this on Slay. But I tell you what, man, Slay knocked people out, and he was one whale of a hitter back there. What would happen if Slay ever got beat? He would hold you. He would grab you. And it's a great technique by a veteran guy.
Yeah, but here, this guy brings up a good point here. He goes, is Ringo, Josh B, thank you, bro. Is Ringo younger than Q? Q is a whole year older than Keely. Quignon's turning 24 in July. Keely's turning 23 in June.
Okay. How long are you going to sit around waiting for him then?
I'm not sitting. I'm just saying they did draft. He was a 4th-round pick. He wasn't drafted to be playing year 1 or year 2, really. Now you're right. The moment has come, and he's either going to win the job or he's going to be gone.
Right.
But I think he's going to have a chance to win the job. I do remember for all my SEC football fans out there, for the college football fans who do love college, again, not the same game, not a perfect comp, doesn't always translate. But he was a very special player at the University of Georgia. He was one of the better players on that defense. And many people said if he had stayed in college another year, he probably would have went 2nd round or maybe even 1st round, depending on how good he played. So, I think the first year was kind of a wash, getting him up to speed. Last year, I think, was your first thing where you're like, they put an Isaiah in. Why not put Keeley in? But again, maybe he wasn't ready, and he's going to have every chance to win it this year. And if he doesn't, you do have a guy in Adoree Jackson who has a lot of experience in the NFL, who did sign a 3-year, $40 million contract a couple of years ago. So he's got some level of NFL pedigree. Is he the best? No. But how will he play inside of Vic's system? Do you agree with this sentiment? Vic's system and the defense that Vic allowed the Eagles to thrive in last year is conducive to helping corners out as compared to if you put him in an island on man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's why we talk about Quignon's not lockdown, right?
No, that's right. There's no doubt it's lesser to play because plus you have a center fielder in your backside to help you. You're not on an island by yourself because of the too high. Absolutely. Yeah. It is by far easier to play.
Uh-oh. That's a Sileo freeze if I've ever seen one.
What's that?
Oh, you're back. You're back. You froze.
Oh, okay.
You froze on me.
Now
you're a little fuzzy. You're a little fuzzy. That's all right. I got you. You're back.
Oh no, it's absolutely easier when you got people that have practiced and played. And I'll tell you this too about Keeley. Hey, bro, I'm with you on this. Hey, man, I'm in practice and I'm going against Jalen Waddle and I'm going against Jameson Williams and I'm going against Devontae Smith and I'm playing against Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't care. I heard John say that comment, hey, by the way, college doesn't translate. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, those wide receivers do. I mean,
that's not a perfect science to say it doesn't translate. You're right. It doesn't always translate, but sometimes there's just really good players.
Bro, if I'm playing
is anybody going to tell me Jeremiah Smith isn't going to be a good player when he gets to the NFL? That dude is going to light the league on fire. I would do anything to get that guy if I had.
When you see a good ball player, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where he, right.
I think it's a little different for certain positions, but I do think you're right. You can't just say just because a good player is good in college, he's not going to be anything. I mean, you can't take it to the bank, but I think that's the part of drafting and get good players and, get players that thrive. Look at Jalen Carter. He dominated in college and didn't even have to play that much there. So I don't see these as big of problems as you do. Now, John had him as the 17th ranked defense this morning. Where do you have him at?
Funny you can say that. Go over here. Hold on here. Oh, here we go.
Oh, gosh, not the chicken scratch again.
Here are the Big Sills top 10 defenses.
I heard your top 10 defenses. Where are the Eagles ranked?
13th.
That's brutal.
13th.
Look at Game Time. The boys are taking the division this year, Big Sills. But Game Time, I got you second.
Okay, 13th.
13th overall defense.
Yeah, 13th. You got, hey, get
because of wait. Because of Isaiah Rodgers.
Hey, wait, no. You know what I loved this morning was when John goes, "Did you get better at any position?" Zander goes, "No, but you're fifth."
Can we do an exercise? Can I
fifth? How's that possible? You didn't get better.
Program your show for 10 minutes.
By the way, you didn't get better, but you're fifth.
Let me program your show for 10 minutes. All right.
Sure. Go ahead.
Let's take the 11 starters on defense.
Sure. Go ahead. You're paying for it.
Let's take the 11 starters on defense last year. Okay.
Okay.
Let's rank them 1 through 11 with an order of importance.
Can't do that.
Why?
Because it's a unit. Units win Super Bowls. One collection of group of guys that are talented, like Michael Parsons and
but what gives your unit a best chance at success? Your most important unit.
You didn't have one player in the top 5 outside of Carter, Bond, maybe Q. The rest of them, Josh Sweat's not a top 10 D lineman. Milton Williams is not a top 10 D lineman.
I just wanted to rank the Eagles.
Dude, you were the number 1 defensive football team with lesser players.
My point is that the 4 guys that we lost were arguably the 4 bottom important defenders on the team.
Who's replacing Milton Williams? I'm curious.
I didn't say that. I said out of the 11 starters last year, the top 6 are all returning.
You're downplaying their. I don't agree with your downplaying of their importance. I
don't agree with you saying
because you know why the league spoke and paid them, all of them.
Oh yeah, you would have paid Milton 28. Milton Williams.
I didn't say that.
Milton Williams.
Every guy that was on your defense that left or stayed got a raise.
I love Milton Williams. I don't even like saying this on the show because I love him. I love where he came from.
Every guy he wants to bring up and call dog shit got a raise.
Milton Williams should enjoy this summer because right now he's a very loved man.
Carter's going to be better without him.
Will you let me speak? He's a very loved man in New England. By week 8, he's going to be the Bryce Huff of New England. Okay?
So wait a minute. So Jalen Carter will be better without Milton Williams too, right?
Jalen Carter will be better this year for sure. Jordan Davis will still be next to him and be better. You're bringing in Moro Jomo. You got
Moro Jomo sucks at the run.
Okay, but he can still rush the passer.
Well, there is a thing called first and second down.
Well, I'm aware of that. Jordan Davis, baby. Jordan Davis.
Oh, the greatn's of him.
JD. It's JD season.
All right. Let me look at this.
You're speculating the team's going to.
I'm not speculating. I'm looking at
No,
you got 7 job openings on defense. It's all I'm saying.
We had those last year and it worked out well. I'm not saying it's going to work out the same, but there's still the chance that it's successful.
I don't think you have the players.
Conclusion.
I don't know. I don't think you have the players on your roster to replace the players you are trying to replace. And let me go here. So Gardner Johnson and Slay, you think you got the players on that football team to replace the production of those 2 players?
Slay, I feel like, is a little easier than we think because of how much time he missed, but he's going to be tough to replace for when he was on the field. But no, you don't have it right now. No way.
How about as a group, these 2 guys?
It depends. How much better is Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean this year? Or do they have a sophomore slump?
I think it depends on how the front plays. If the front plays like and as versatile as it did a year ago, remember something. I disputed this, and by the end of the year was proven I was wrong on this. The secondary in 2024 was superior to the secondary of 2022. Why? You didn't have the volume of pressure that you had this past season that you had in 22. So that's why when Bradbury got that contract and he got that enormous money, he got it based off of what that pressure was with those 4 guys getting double-digit sacks and the 70 sacks and the volume of pressure and hits on the quarterback. That wasn't anywhere near what those guys played with this past season. They ended up being better, Zander, as cover guys. And because you basically, with the edge guys, you had, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't call them exceptional. Did you think you had exceptional edge pressure this year?
We didn't even have a double-digit sack guy. Wait, listen to this. Last year, our defense was better than 22. This is just a crazy stat for everybody. We had 0 guys get double-digit sacks last year, and the number 1 overall defense that made Mahomes look like a shell of himself. In 22, we had 4, I think, double-digit sack guys, right? You had Reddick, Hargrave, BG, and was Sweat a double-digit guy in 22?
On Hargrave.
I said Hargrave.
Okay.
Hargrave, Sweat. Hargrave, Reddick.
Graham, Sweat, and Reddick.
Yeah, 4 in 22. That's crazy. Which shows you, though, that, as you pointed out, you can get home and you can have a great defense without dominant edge. You need good, competent, every down edge rushers.
Absolutely. So, again, I always thought that when people were talking that was a number 1 priority. The number 1 priority wasn't replacing or getting an edge rusher. It was replacing the versatility that the other guys that you lost, in my opinion. Because I think there's versatility because you're going to have to do it now with multiple players with multiple defensive fronts than what you didn't have to do this past year. And when you have substitution issues like you're going to have, how about this? I'll take that back. I don't know if you're going to have substitution issues, but you will have substitutions. Because if you're going to tell me Moro Jomo, and he's a good pass rusher, the guy that actually comes out, I thought about it last night, it's Davis that comes out. It's not Moro Jomo. Davis will come out and third down. It's why
we said that. We said that.
He'll slide down. Davis comes out. Jahad Campbell goes over to his spot at end. And that's how Kobe stays on the field. Davis is the odd guy out. If you're going to play him.
Long term, it looks bleak for Nakobe Dean for sure.
Yeah, because I think they really do it. Don't you envision him as an inside linebacker next to Bond?
Who? Jahad?
Yeah.
I do, but that's,
But isn't ask yourself this, though. Isn't the perfect world in 2 years from now, if you're the Eagles, is it the perfect world Nakobe and Jahad?
And having Bond where?
Well, no, what I'm saying, when Bond's 33, don't you want to have a plan where you have a guy? What do you think Bond's going to be? 35? Okay, say 29, 30. Okay, in 3 years, he's 31, 32 years old.
Yeah, and you move on. You're probably going to move on from Bond after 2 years.
You got a 24-year-old linebacker right now. Wouldn't that be just you'd want to keep that kid Dean on your team?
But you got to pay him because his contract's coming up. Or I honestly, Sills, this is going to sound out there, but I do think Smile Munden's going to have a good chance to be as good as Nakobe Dean.
I love that kid.
Yeah, he was a really good pick in round 5.
Boy,
man.
And you know what? The value, it was off the charts in my opinion there. All right. Let me ask you this one here. This to me, when you're talking, what will be the biggest challenge for Vic putting this group together like he did a year ago?
The biggest challenge is it the teachability aspect? Hear me out. Makuba could be a great safety, but if he can't play safety in Vic's scheme, if he doesn't know when to be high, when to be low, how to communicate, how to do the different things that Vic is going to ask you to do in different coverages and different, in different systems, could that be the biggest hurdle? Think about it, Sills. Seriously, think about this for a second. There is not a starter on defense that is over 28 years old. Now, if Adoree Jackson...
And there's only one that's 28.
Bond's 28. Jalen Carter's like 25. Nolan Smith's like 25. Jordan Davis is 26. Jalix Hunt is 24. Cooper and Quinion are 23 and 22. Cooper DeJean just turned 22.
And you know what you said? Listen, this is where I disagree a little bit with John. Bro, when you're...
Oh, it's 19, about time.
When you're 19 years old...
Do the same show, morning and night. You and Sileo.
But when you're 19 years old, and all you've seen is success, SEC titles, national championship games, national titles, winning the East, winning Super Bowls, winning playoff games, winning NFC titles. Think about Jalen Carter right now. He's got 2 national title rings, 2 NFC title rings, and a Super Bowl ring. And he's 24 years old.
It's crazy, bro. That's just nuts. That's serious level of experience for a 24-year-old player. 99.9% of 24-year-olds in the NFL don't have that level.
Never.
They'll never get that level of experience.
That's unbelievable. The amount, like losing to him has to truly hurt. Because, some people get used to it because you're not on very good or in very good programs. This guy's in the same thing with Hurts in a way. Hurts,
absolutely.
Did the Oklahoma team make it to the Final Four?
Yep, made it to the Final Four. Led him to the playoffs. He was like 11-1 or 11-2. Now he got blown out in the play. He got absolutely
Was that the LSU team?
Yeah, they got throttled, man.
Yeah,
They
but
got
that
destroyed.
team might be one of the greatest teams of all time next to that Canes 01
It is.
team.
Well, let me look up that game. LSU, Oklahoma.
I think it was 65 something. I mean, I think they destroyed them.
Yeah, 63-28.
It was. I remember that game, man. I think that's the game that Odell Beckham was on the sidelines passing cash out.
And I think Oklahoma had some fuddies at the end. No, they had one
I
touchdown.
think Calcaterra was in that game, wasn't it?
Jalen Hurts was 15 of 31 for 217 and 1 interception in that game.
What was Joe Burrow?
Are you ready for Burrow? Are you ready for Burrow? You're gonna lose your shit.
What's Joe Burrow in that?
29 of 39 for 493 and 7 touchdowns. Seven touchdowns.
Oh my God.
493 and 7.
Did you see what Micah Parsons is going on already in Dallas? Did you see today?
Oh, he's going to be crying soon. Why aren't they giving him a contract?
Whoa. Okay. So George Pickens shows up today. Cowboys Jerry Jones comes out and goes, we're working on a brand new 3-year contract for George Pickens. Micah Parsons goes, hang on here. Hang on here. Hang on here. Hang on here. Where's my deal? Where's my deal?
I don't blame him.
Where's my deal? That's not going to go like everybody thinks that thing's going to go in Dallas. I heard Pickens say today, he goes, damn, we're going to really work off one another, CD Lamb and myself.
Would you trade Nolan Smith and a first-round pick for Michael Parsons? Bring him in, give him a brand new deal. $40 million a year.
And I got to pay the other guy down on the D tackle position 40.
Yeah, but remember, you're going to have to do something with Nolan next year too.
Yeah, but I'm not paying 40 for him.
You're going to have to pay a lot for Micah.
Yeah, no, but I'm not going to have to pay 40 for Nolan.
Shane says, Zander, you're effing crazy. Shane, I didn't say I would do it. It's a question, Shane. Come on, Shane.
Yeah, but for the Eagle defense, does Michael Parsons fit the role that I'm looking for him to fit the role that Vic would want him to play?
Probably not. He can't play the run.
He can't play the run. He's not Van King. You know why I like Van Ginkel more than him? Van Ginkel plays all the game. He plays the run. He plays the pass. He pass rushes. Hey, dude, I get you want to be a podcast star. I do. Okay? Hey, I get it. I get you love being a Dallas Cowboy, but you got to put in the dirty work. You know, can I say this to you about the Eagle defense? The Eagle defense, to me, are a bunch of like blue-collar worker guys that go to work every day, that have a role on their team. They're defined by their manager, who is Vic, and he tells you your role and what you're going to do. And you know what you're happy to do? You're happy to do it because you know that at the end of the day, you're going to win. Michael Parsons sees it as a him thing. I would not want him on my team. I don't like him.
Yeah, but they're making if you're Micah, and I'm not a big fan of him either, the way he handles himself off the field, but you're probably annoyed at this point. I mean, he's proven himself to be one of the best edge rushers in football, and they just won't give him a deal.
So who do you think's a better edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson or Michael Parsons?
Natural edge, probably Trey.
Okay. Who do you think's a better football player? Jesus, if this debate is going on, that means $40 million. You want me to make a decision on a debate? Here's what I like to debate. When you go like this and you stand up and you go, Brian, or you go like this, Brian Dawkins, Hall of Fame, and the guy sits down. That's all you got to say.
I can't wait for somebody.
I don't want to debate.
Somebody that wants to super chat on Monday's Birds 365. Go ahead and put it in the chat for Johnny Mac. How much is Micah Parsons going to get paid? Johnny Mac will erupt. John thinks Micah Parsons is a generational talent. I agree. Isaiah's probably right. Trey Hendrickson's not better than Micah.
Okay, here. I want to do one thing for you here. And I listen. Maybe in today's NFL, that is exactly what he is. He's a generational guy today. But here's to me. This is generational. I won't even name the name. People will say it. Won 2 Super Bowls, National Football League MVP, a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, was the Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, was the 3-time NFC Player of the Year, was an 11-time Pro Bowler, and, of course, ended his career with 156 sacks. You know who that is?
No.
That's Lawrence Taylor. That's generational. That's generational. A guy being on a team that's 28th in run defense, I don't know how that's generational.
I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, and by the way, let's go back to Nolan. The only reason I take Micah is because Nolan Smith is a schwimp.
I will say this about Nolan. Right?
That's it.
I do think that there is a chance that he struggles a little bit more this year than we're expecting. Like, I think a lot of Eagles fans, me included, have just kind of put him in the, okay, check that box category, but he played half a good season and he's hurt again. So, like, is he going to come back and be the same guy as he was at the end of last year? I don't know. He did have 4.5 sacks in the playoffs, which is extraordinary.
So let me ask you this last one before we read the supers. Where do you have your Lindbergh cheese defense, or excuse me, your no holes defense this year ranked? Where do you think they finish?
9 is the floor. Top 5 is the ceiling. I know you don't hate that. That's a realistic answer. If Vic really gets these guys playing, which is hard to do, I admit it's going to be very hard to do.
A lot have to hit.
A lot, like more than last year has to hit, which is a crazy thing. But the top upside's top 5.
See, I think this is more it right here. And I'm not going towards 15.
You're a 12?
Yeah. I'm going to say this to you, Zander.
Ben says that's high, Zander. I think 9 is an appropriate floor.
Let me tell you this. If you end the season 12th in defense, 8th in passing.
8th in passing?
First in run. Well, you were in 23.
There's a better chance of getting number 1 defense.
You were 8th in passing in 23, weren't you?
I'm just kidding. Don't get your pennies in a bind, everybody.
12 defense. Okay, how about this? 12 defense. And let's just say this. 12 offense. And you're 12 defense and you're 12 offense in passing and you're first in rushing. You win the Super Bowl.
No, we won't.
You don't think?
No. You're not going to be the number 1 run defense in the NFL or run offense in the NFL if you're 12th in defense.
Well, one of the reasons. I said 12th.
Wait. Let me finish.
I said 12th overall. I didn't say 12th in running defense.
No. I'm saying you're not going to be the best running offense in the league if you're not a better defense than that. One of the reasons that we could run last year so much is because we never trailed in games.
And
we gave up 14 points a game.
You had great field position because your defense had a ton of 3 and outs.
Everything. So you never gave up a lot of points. Were the Eagles ever at any point in the year last year after week 4 down by 2 touchdowns? Seriously, I don't think we ever were. I don't remember one game.
That stupid Cowboy game. Remember you had a couple turnovers and you guys got down like 10? Or remember in the first half of that Cowboys game in Arlington? I think that's the only time I remember that the Eagles were down by.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like, if you're the 12th overall defense.
I got the point.
Let me look up real quick something.
I think it was the Cowboy game in Arlington. You guys started out 10-0 or something.
I'm going to look at this. All right. So last year, the Eagles were the number 1 defense in football. All right. Let's look up the scoring defense. They gave up only 174 passing yards allowed per game, which is really insane. Rushing defense. Let me find scoring. All right. So last year, the Eagles were the second actually scoring defense. They gave up 17.8 points per game. That's pretty damn good. The 12th gave up 22 points a game. Not that big of a difference. But if you're giving up a lot more points, you're probably not going to run the ball as much.
Hey, bro, you're looking at the right stats there, man. Because again, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. It's about points against. I mean, if you're in that room and you're winning that, because it's all about who puts, a simple thing. It's about who scores the most and who gives up the least. That's how you win Super Bowls, man. And look where the Eagles were. 26, you guys, 26 in scoring. And 17th, you guys were only giving up 17 a game.
So listen to this. Total defense last year, we gave up 278.4 yards a game, okay?
Insane.
The next closest, number 2.
320.
311.
311, all right.
311, 313, 314, 314, 315, 317, 317. So they're all clumped up. The Eagles are that far ahead of the pack.
Do you know that at the beginning of every year, a D coordinator will put defensive goals up on the board? You know what they are? 19.4, 279 total yards. You want to be like around in that where you're giving, those were your goals back in my day. Now, they didn't throw the ball as much as they do today, so I'm sure those numbers are a little higher. But to tell me that you had a stat that reminded people of 1986, that's 1986 goals where you land on 279. That's, what is 74?
Yeah.
That's insane. Dude, that has to be one of the best yards per defense in a season in about 20 years.
What do you think our upside, or what do you think our ceiling is on defense this year?
I think that triangle's still pretty good.
It's amazing.
Okay, so I mean, you bringing back, the question will be Nakobe, because he played really well last year. He did, man. I mean, if they get production out of that other right inside linebacker, the 2 tackles in front are going to help Mondon or Trotter or whoever's in there, because I still think you're going to be, here's the key to your defense, Zander. I still think you're going to be in the top 10 in run defense. Were you 8th last year?
Run defense, we were 10.
You were 10th.
10th.
Well, I think you're nothing's changed and you've added.
Well, you probably got a little worse at run defense.
Not on that triangle you did, and in the middle of your defense.
You got rid of Sweat and you got rid of Milton, who wasn't great against the run.
No, I'm talking about in the triangle box of Carter.
Yeah, I got you.
Carter, Davis, and Vaughn and Dean. Those 4 guys, that box, that's what makes the box in the middle.
See, I don't agree with
that. And you added Jihad Campbell. That's really the only place that you've gotten better, but that's the most significant place that you got better. Dude, you didn't have to be better at the edge, Zander. You just have to be and continue to get better in the middle of that defense. And they added Campbell. So to me, I still think they're stout in the middle. That's why I'm not going off the cliff. They could go higher. My question is going to be in your secondary. I don't believe it's going to be fucking that easy to replace CJ Gardner and Slay as a group. Okay, as a group. Okay?
I agree.
So, I mean, the perimeter is setting the edge.
I understand the questions on defense. Where I go, and I understand that I'm an Eagles fan. So, yes, I do slant to believing my team is going to be good. But I'm also trying to look at it objectively. The objective in me says, Sills and John are correct. There's a lot of holes, a lot of things you got to replace, a lot of moving parts now. But the reality is, Carter's back, Dean is back, Vaughn is back, Cooper and Quinion are back, Reed Blankenship is back, Nolan is back. There's still enough guys coming back where I'm like, all right, you didn't gut this thing. Like, I hear you. That's why I wanted to do the exercise with the top.
But not up the middle. You didn't gut it up the middle.
No, you didn't. And I feel like if Vic can get the other moving parts up to speed, which he was able to do last year, I think this team could be a top 5 defense. It is going to be hard, though. I admit that.
Last one for you. Were you surprised by Vic Fangio's success a year ago, especially when they were 2-2? Because this guy went really from week 5 on, where he won Eagle fans over because of the way the defense played. Were you surprised with how he had an impact on that football team and the significance he had on that football team? I was surprised, especially coming off of the Miami disaster.
You're talking about Vic, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what surprised me the most, Sileo. Okay. And it does answer your question still. The answer was a lot. Okay. I knew he was going to be a good coordinator, and I knew that based on the discussions I had with you about the guy, with John, and just talking about the team. All right. I wasn't overly surprised, but I didn't expect it to be that good. Where I really got surprised, Sileo, was this offseason, because I watched Howie Roseman change almost every approach he's had to defensive football in the last decade. He let homegrown edge walk out the door and a homegrown defensive tackle walk out the door. He signed a max contract linebacker. He drafted, for the second year in a row, another linebacker. He spent a first-round pick, however you want to call Campbell, on a linebacker. I'm looking, and Makuba at safety, all of these things. I'm like, I've never seen a guy win over influence, especially in the draft, on Howie like this. I've never seen it.
Here's what
Nick shows up, and Howie's drafting all these defensive dudes.
Wait a minute. To the point of what you just said, think about what you just said there. The Eagles, since 1979, had never drafted a linebacker of any substance since Jerry Robinson at UCLA. They paid a linebacker. They drafted a linebacker. What's Vic known for? Linebackers. His forte is linebackers. He convinced Howie Roseman, like you said, to change his entire makeup and approach on how he sees that position and the importance of the position in 10 months. Drafting and signing.
Yeah.
Dude, he did both. So losing Sweat and Milton, you know what he's saying? As long as we're strong in the middle, we're good. All right. Let's do these supers, brother.
All right. I want to get the one. She's about to leave. Fly Eagle says, I'm going to have to head out in a minute. Both of you be great to the mothers in your lives, and happy birthdays. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody, man.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I was born on Mother's Day. It's one of my great joys in life that I was born on Mother's Day. I'm a mama's boy because of that, all right? So I was born on Mother's Day.
Absolutely, man. My Aunt Betty's the best of all time.
Good stuff. Fly Eagles, thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Sean Stepp, Jay Ramsey has safety and emergency corner thoughts. He just hated Vic last year, bro. Why? 2 years ago. And
that guy won't be cheap. Remember, you got to talk with your wallet, too, a little bit back there on that side. And that guy's path, you know where I see him landing? Back with the Rams.
Pumper says, I believe in the kids. Sydney and Keely got me. You peons better hop on the wagon at this point. Also, Zander, that hat is dreadful. Pump, I'm not taking advice from you because my girl tells me I look amazing in this hat. And I don't need advice from anybody, all right? Because I like the hat. And I'm going to wear the hat. And it might be my new every football Friday hat. All right. So get used to it, Pumper. You square.
Look at you, man.
Kyle says, I'm not paying $40 million for P. Diddy. Korsky's been on a run recently.
He has. He's picked his game up big time.
Let's do it. All right. Kimbo says, we have twice the players filling half the roles. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean you got the right players.
That's right, Kimbo's. Hey, I got a bunch of trash cans.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I got a bunch of trash cans, but yet every one of them have a hole in it.
One of them's $100 bill. Kim's trying to replace him with 15 ones. Not quite the same value. Yeah. Mike says, happy birthday, Zay. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, brother. Mike, I met Mike down at the parade sales where you were supposed to be, but you just didn't want to get in there.
Subtle shot.
This guy covers the Eagles for a living and just said, yeah, win the Super Bowl. Who cares?
He said subscribe.
Flexing and stepping. Pay your Wi-Fi sales. I think he's talking about one here.
Oh, I will today now.
T-Bone says, hello, Big Z. Popped in just to say hi to you, my brother. The beard's looking sharp, but your intelligence can't be hidden. Peace, bro. And you too, Sills. So me and T have been having some great conversations via email. T, good to see you in here, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
He
and
is a big
Shane
supporter.
O'Mac. Shane, you've been talking a lot of shit today, but I'll give you a pass because you became a member. So thank you, brother.
See, hey, Shane, you now have become a member, so you paying to talk your shit, so you get a chance. You get a hall pass here, Jacob, when you pay to talk shit here.
Shane, you had some of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life today. All right. Did he become a legend? Brandon, I can't see on this side on YouTube.
Yeah, he became a legend.
Wow. Shane O'Mac, that earns you some praise for like a couple hours, and then I'll be back to shitting on you after that. Here we go. Big Marsh says, what up, fellas? Happy birthday, Z. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
So what's a big Z birthday meal?
Oh, that's a good question because I'm not a big birthday guy. I get it, but my girlfriend cares a lot more about my birthday than I do, for crying out loud. But my birthday meal is the same basically every year. My mom makes it. All right. It's a fat steak. All right. Grilled up. It's mashed potatoes. And it's whatever choice of veggies she wants to make. With that, I got steak. I love mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes with my mom's homemade gravy. Ooh! And a nice veggie. That's it, man. And then a chocolate cake, homemade chocolate cake with my mom's homemade vanilla frosting.
Here's Big Sills' birthday deal. Bowl of scungeel, stuffed lobsters, my grandma style, my aunt knows. Clams and spaghetti, a special white sauce my grandma made.
You love clams.
I do. I love seafood.
We walked into Hooters and this guy ordered clams.
Galamad, a nice salad. And then for my little birthday, because I don't really like cake, I like cannolis. Nice. So you drop a couple cannolis for me.
I love a cannoli. It's funny. I'm not a big cake guy either, Sills. I never have been. I'm not a big cake guy, but there is one cake I like that my mom makes.
Scungeel and lobsters, man. They're my favorite. God, I love it. You ever had scungeel?
Yeah, I've had scungeel. Look at this jerk off. This guy flexing and step. Flex, I ain't answering your text for a week now. He says, I hope she made kale. Are you kidding me, Flex?
Kale.
That's like getting coal in your stocking on Christmas for me. Getting
kale. My daughter
is that bird food, rabbit food, kale.
I'll tell you one thing, Texas boy. Hey, Texas boy, I'll tell you one thing, man. My wife introduced me to chicken fried steak and eggs, and I'd never eaten that bullshit. By the way, I'd never eaten like Mexican food. I love it. Okay, I do. I absolutely love it, man.
I'm not a picky eater. The only things I don't eat
when
is
you were
kale.
in Houston, did you ever eat any of the Mexican food?
All over, dude.
Yeah,
when I lived in Houston, we got good, isn't it? The problem when I lived in Houston is I was fresh out of college. I had just started my first business, and I was so broke I could barely keep the water on in my apartment. So I didn't eat out as much as I probably would have if I was at a different phase of life. But fresh out of college, I went and lived in Houston with my brother. I was as broke get. I had rent between my rent and my bills and the food. I was literally on like a 50-cent difference in my budget. That's how I was broke.
And I tell you how I used to get over it. Let me tell you what you didn't know the rules on how to get over then. Let me tell you what Big Silk would do. I
came home with maxed out credit card, so I think I did.
wait, whoa. I'll tell you what. Well, I know how to max a credit card out as good as anybody, right, Betty? Yeah. Let me ask you this one here. This is what I did. I needed to get myself some money, and I had to figure it out. So I went, why don't we go down? I told Stubbs and Jerome Brown, why don't we go down to the welfare? And why don't we see if we can get some, like, welfare? We go down there, all of a sudden, they give us $280. We're like, oh, my God. We're stacking our refrigerators up. Holy cow. Hey, I want to leave you with this. Did you see on my ex, if you Google Stanford Catholic, 1979, seeing Pope John Paul II. Big Sills
No,
posted
the first. Oh, was it the second? Yeah, the second.
second. Get this. Big Sills was an altar boy there at Yankee Stadium. I posted some pictures. Father Bob took us down there, and you can go
my family that
Google it. I just put it up on X. It says Stanford Catholic students went to Yankee Stadium, and we met John Paul II, and I was an altar boy for him, and he blessed me.
I still can't get over that you tweeted Pope of Sports Talk.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. How about that? And you want to hear
something? What though? It is amazing. I mean, I get such a kick out of your life. I mean, I yesterday, me and Sileo were talking about the Pope, or 2 days ago when he got elected, and I guess today, and I'm like, leave it to Sileo. I bring up a Pope story, and he's like, oh yeah, I was the altar boy for a Pope. I'm like, oh fucking course you were. This guy knows everybody. He's talked to every person. He's an altar boy for the Pope, for crying out loud. I mean, Sileo is the most well-versed guy I've ever met.
How about this? So the picture I posted is with Father Bob, myself, and my wife. We've been married like 34 years. Dude, just to show you the kind of love that my priest of 50 years is. You know who my priest is? Father Bob? He was the priest that had to talk and tell the families in Newtown.
Wow.
You stand over here. You stand over here. And Father Bob had to go to the families and say, your daughter's gone.
That's brutal.
That's my priest.
That's
he is such, he had to take time out for about a year because, it was so mentally, imagine telling your family that your children are gone.
That's tough, man. I see the picture you posted up with Father Bob.
Yeah.
That's you and your wife, I would imagine.
Yep, me and my wife. Yeah, my aunt took that. And yeah. Okay. And so we, but he's one of the greatest men in my life, and he's been my priest for 50 years. How's that for you, bro? I've been married for 34, and I got a priest for over 50 years. That's the same guy.
That's awesome. Kyle checks in again. Kyle's been red hot. Zander, I actually met Malkin from the Penguins 10 years ago. Malkin.
Wow, man, is that guy one of my favorite Penguin players, man?
Yeah, he was good. Him and Sid the Kid, man. Both. Look at this jerk off. This guy became a member, so I can't really chirp him too much. Click the like button if you think Zander looks like a human Oreo with that whack-ass hat. Shane, you're so jealous you can't pull this sucker off, can you? You can't, Shane. Look at him. He's seething through the screen. He can't even type it.
I think he looks great in that lid. I love this lid.
You think I need approval from Shane O'Mac to wear a hat?
What do you know? You're an Irishman.
It's like listening to Texas boy.
Bald Eagle, what do you know?
Cooks with ragu.
Dude, are you talking? That's a white guy. White guys cook with ragu.
My mom's 100% Italian. Don't put that on me.
Yeah, we don't.
I might be white, but my mom is not.
Bro, I'll tell you what, Bald Eagle. I didn't go to McDonald's until my senior year in high school because my folks made my. I never went to. We never ate at a restaurant. I had high-end food because we caught it. Bro, my grandparents used to grow figs.
We have a fig tree at our. We have a fig tree at our house in Cape May. My grandmother planted that 15 years ago. You should see how big it is now, man. It's unbelievable.
Did you hear that Cape May is voted like one of the absolutely greatest beaches in the entire New Jersey area?
Bro, Cape May is the greatest place on earth. I've been telling people that, and I used to be in high school.
I've never been there.
I go to Ocean City. It's Sea Isle.
Is it better than Ocean City?
You guys have fun over there. I'll be in Cape May. All right. So I love Cape. I told you a couple days ago, Cape May is like my dream. Like if I can build JAKIB big enough, fucking pay big sills, the buku bucks, and get myself a Cape May place, my life is good, brother. I'm good, man. I don't need much more than that, but it's expensive to do. So we'll see.
Hey, if I had to live in one place on the East Coast, on the water, my aunt lived in Montauk. Okay? Lived in Montauk. There or Cape Cod. I've been to Hyannis. Dude, have you ever been to Hyannisport?
No. That's nice. I've never been up there.
Hey, man.
That's in Ocean City. That's where my girlfriend's from. My girlfriend's a big Ocean City girl. But, hey, she grew up there, went to school there. Yeah. She tells me Cape May's better.
Yeah.
I'll take her word. She grew up in Ocean City. I'm not an Ocean City guy. I never have been.
So I'm going to the beach. Are you hanging out? I mean, I know it's been raining there. I mean, so what do you get?
Today's miserable. That's why I threw a sweatshirt on. I had my shirt on this morning. It's miserable outside today.
Are you going to do anything? Are you going to do anything? Or because I'm like you with birthdays, I don't really care. I mean,
tomorrow. I mean, I'm probably not.
What are you doing for your mom on Mother's Day?
We're having a big Mother's Day brunch, so we'll get together for my mom and celebrate her. We'll have probably my aunt over, and we'll do something good for my mom. My mom is totally the matriarch of my family. You know, she is
and a gigantic Big Sills fan.
Yes, she is. That is 100% the truth. She, back when when we had a little bit more host and people, and my mom used to always say, you keep Big Sills. I like Big Sills the most. I like Big Sills the most. So my family's a big Sills fan. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. Zander, you make sure I'll reach out to you tomorrow. By the way, I'll be doing my first sports talk show on radio in Tampa from 10 to noon on Sunday on 8:20 a.m. It's my first time back since my exile in 2012 that I'll be on the air. So
let me ask you something.
That'll be very interesting.
Are you going to give those guys in Tampa as much shit as you give these fine young men and women who support the Philadelphia Eagles, or are you going to go snowflake radio in Tampa?
Well, I was thrown off the air because I wouldn't go snowflake radio. Let me ask you something, Zander. When a football team goes 9-7 versus a Super Bowl champion 14-3, what do you think the chances of me going soft on a 9-8 football team are? Homie, I don't go. Hey, the ice cream never melts in Big Sills' hand.
I know, man. Believe me, I know.
Absolutely not happening, brother, man. This was fun here today, man. We had a lot of fun here,
man. A fun football Friday as always. I thought we had a great week of shows, man. Between both of us, I thought we had a really good week of shows. By the way, I thought the Royale was great this week.
Oh my God!
You were going at 500, and he was standing strong.
You know what he said too? He texts me and he goes, "Hey," and I go, "Let me tell you something, kid. You get it.
Yeah.
Well, I love you. You totally get it." Oh, and for the record, all of you, Boomer said that he's not ducking you. He had some work to do. He's traveling, so we're going to get him beginning of the week.
Yeah, people have been asking about that.
So. Yeah, Boomer Sison's scheduled to come on. You know us. We always – one thing you know about Big Sills, he never lets go. We always get him in the end.
I don't ask those questions anymore. Like Silly the other day, he's like, sorry about Boomer. I'm like, sorry. What are you talking? He's apologizing to me for? I watched you get more people on this show than I ever thought possible, so I'm not worried about it. You'll be somebody
good. Who's somebody you want on your network?
I got one, and this was dropped to me by one of our viewers the other day.
Okay.
John Gruden.
All right.
Can you imagine you with John Gruden? That would be home run content.
You want to hear my in with him? Okay.
Now here's the problem with him. He's a Barstool guy now, so they're not going to give him
I know. They restrict them from going anywhere. They can't even do ESPN shit.
They can't do anything. Barstool locks down those people.
Listen to this. Here's my connection, though. Ready?
Coach Rule from Nebraska is a Cape May guy. He bought a huge banger in Cape May.
Matt Rule. I know the people at
his house in Cape May is unbelievable.
I know the people at Nebraska. So get this. So I posted, Zander. Listen to this. My aunt knows this too. I have been 25 to 30-year-old friends with Chris Sullivan and Bob Bashan. You know who they are?
No.
They're the founders of Fleming Steakhouse.
Okay.
Carrabba's.
Yep.
Outback Steakhouse. Tebow's Tebow's Chicken Place. Tim Tebow's. I think. PF Chang's. They started all those, and they sponsored me when they owned Leroy Selman's. I was a spokesman for Leroy Selman's. And that's how I even became closer. So I sent them, I go, and guess who they pay? And they're 25% owners of Hooters. So I told them, I said, hey, listen, I need you guys back on the program. And I got them coming back on the program. I'm getting Outback Steakhouse on this thing.
That's huge.
Okay. You know how Outback started? Like, listen to this. These two guys went to Banks. Banks go like this to them. It's on Henderson in Tampa. That's why, because I'm going on in Tampa Sunday. That's why this all got spurred back up. So get this, Basham and Sullivan went to every single family member. Then he tested Verdi too. And they got $350,000. Do you know what they sold 20% of Outback Steakhouse to this
A
firm?
lot.
You know the one that Mitt Romney ran? They sold it to them. Each got $375 million.
What do I got to do? What do I got to do?
With something that had Australian theme to it.
I know. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Right? That's how that's how I got the job as sideline reporter for the Outback Bowl. I was a sideline reporter for the Outback Bowl
that's right.
For 10 years, I did that.
Celia's got connections everywhere, man.
I do, man. I do. And you know what? I forget some of them. Zander, have a great birthday, my friend.
Thank you, man.
You have been absolutely great. Hey, tell your mom happy Mother's Day and tell your family have a great Mother's Day and a great birthday, you and your girlfriend and your family tomorrow. Thank you so much, dude. We really appreciate everything that's going on here. A lot of things moving right now. A lot of things growing right now for sure. And again, once again, this show goes nowhere. We build around this show, folks, just so you know. Man. I want everyone to know that.
Sills, appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you, man. All the comments, the likes, the share, the love, the hate, all good. I love it all. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you all. Big Sills, love you, brother. Appreciate it, man. See ya.
Love you too, Zander. Have a great one, brother. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, #1 injury law firm in America with over $30 billion in recovery. Why are they number one? They win. Told you about the family in Pennsylvania. They got $30 million in recovery. Insurance company wanted to give them $650K. Not happening. Down in Florida, family got $12 million. An insurance company wanted to give them a $350,000 settlement. They said, absolutely no way. This will be the easiest decision you make. I've known Morgan & Morgan for over 30 years. Do me a favor. Please log on. Check them out at forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales pound law 529. Or do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is